Hi, this is Vidya Balan and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
It's a huge privilege to have Dr. Vidya Balan with us. She is receiving this doctorate from Rai University and there'll be a scholarship on her name as well. Wonderful to have you back on Bollywood Hungama first of all.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be called doctor?
Strange, but strange in a nice way.
Right.
I'd never imagined being called Dr. Vidya Balan.
Right.
But yes, as a kid, I think I was 9 years old and my father had a massive heart attack. Thankfully, he survived it. But you know, I wanted to be a doctor after that. So in my growing up years, I thought for about 2-3 years from them that I wanted to be a doctor. And then, of course, the acting bug got me and I forgot all about becoming a doctor. So the universe does conspire to make your wishes come true. And I think it's crazy actually that I'm being conferred with this doctorate.
And a scholarship is being
instituted in my
because
name.
I think that's another huge honor.
Yes, absolutely, and that's something I feel very strongly about the education of girls. And while I've done my little bit for the education of young girls, you know, especially for enrollment in schools and things like that, because there are the dropout rate of girls is much higher than that of boys at the primary level. But this is the first time that I'm going to be able to do something for higher education of girls. So I'm very, very happy because I really think that education is that differentiator.
Absolutely.
That clincher that opens the world up for you. I've experienced that in my life.
Absolutely. Now, somewhere in recent times, you said in several interviews that this entire new trend that is happening, especially this year, that almost all the women-oriented films are doing exceptionally well, be it Dam Laga Ke Haisha, Piku, NH10, and whatever. Somewhere many would say that you've been the trendsetter because you had one hit film after another, be it a dirty picture, be it a kahani, and you feel vindicated somewhere that as a woman primarily, that ये कहा जाता था कि साहब that men, they only have that 100 crore cut, they are the just forebearer of that, and the women, they have to just play secondary roles mostly.
Yeah, but you know, in my career I've seen the change happening. Of course, when people give me credit for that change, I'm very, very humbled. But having said that, I think it is really a function of the times we're living in.
Sure.
You know, women are taking stock and taking charge of their lives. They're becoming aware of their rights and they're coming into their own. You know, so that was bound to find representation in cinema. People started writing roles and I'm a hungry actor. I grabbed those roles with all my might, whether it was Pa, Ishqiya, No One Killed Jessica, Dirty Picture Kahani, you know, or now Hamari Adhuri Kahani. So I have been seeing or experiencing this change, but today suddenly that's gained momentum, and there are so many films in the past 2 years.
Right.
You know, there have been so many films. In 2012 there was just Dirty Picture and Kahani, and then 2013 onwards, you know, there was Queen and Mardani, Mary Com, Margarita with a Straw.
This is this year. Margarita with a Straw.
Yeah, but you know, Dam Laga Ke Haisha, Tanu Weds Manu, Piku, all of them, NH10. So it's just amazing that so many films are being made and all of them have done well. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
At the box office.
Yeah. So even as a woman, I feel extremely proud, and as an actor, I feel very proud that you know, I'm part of this change, and you know, I'm enjoying this change. I'm enjoying the fact that now the world is opening up for us. People are writing all kinds of scripts, all kinds of genres. People are investing money, and the more success these films see, it's going to get even better.
Hamari Adhuri Kahani is coming up. I've read the book, All That Could Have
Yeah,
Been. So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
I know more or less the story, how it's going
Right.
to pan out. So I think it's a very interesting book, and I'm sure that the movie must be equally interesting because the way the feeders have been. But somewhere your last 3 films haven't done well,
Yeah.
and now you're having such positive buzz for Hamari Adhuri Kahani. The music has done exceptionally well. Do you feel excited somewhere, especially because of the fact that maybe a few of your films haven't done well?
Yeah, you were right. You know, past 3 films haven't done well. And while I went through, you know, all those emotions that you go through when a film doesn't work, whether
Right.
it's disappointment or a heartbreak, anger,
Right.
you know, questioning, I've gone through all of that, but I've let go and moved forward. So I approach every film like it's a fresh film. So of course, it's tougher when your film hasn't been successful, and 3 in a row is, I hadn't experienced this for a very
For
long
quite a long
time.
time, yeah,
So
that's true.
I'm very happy with the kind of response that the trailers of Hamari Adhuri Kahani have received.
Right.
And there is buzz, people are liking the music. So one can only hope for the best from here.
Absolutely.
You know, beyond that, I think maturity has taught me that until that Friday, you know, don't make your calculations.
No, absolutely. Now, since I've read the book, All That Could Have Been, somewhere it is primarily the story of Vasudha. I think Imran as Arav Ruparel, I think must be having a very interesting role, because I think that's a very dynamic character. And even Hari, Rajkumar Rao, in the book, I think he's not that fleshed out, but I think in the movie, the way the promos, I think he is. Somewhere, do you feel that a very different sort of woman here it is, and it's a mature love story. How have you approached it differently from what you have done in the past?
Firstly, yes, it is a mature love story. I think we've not had a mature love story in forever. The last I can remember are Andhi and Silsila.
Correct.
You know,
Arth, you've liked the movie a bit.
I loved Arth. Arth has had a great influence on me as an actor. So I think it's been a while since such a film has been made. And today, actually, we don't have love stories anymore. You know, they're largely rom-coms. It's more about flirting. It's about how actually relationships are playing out, I think.
Sure.
But Hamari Adhuri Kahani has a more poetic love story happening. It is between 2 people, you know, who come from completely different worlds. Arav Ruparel is a man who owns 108 hotels the world over. He's only on an airplane or in a hotel room. He doesn't have a house. Vasudha is very rooted, and she believes that, you know, ab arthi utegi to pati ke ghar se. So for a woman like that, even the thought of a relationship with another man is blasphemous. But she falls in love because here's a man who shows her respect, who shows care and concern for the individual, for the person she is. He's not treating her just like a thing or as property, which is what Hari does. So it is the romance when it plays out also, it is of a different texture. It's not your regular
one.
Therefore, it plays out differently. It doesn't play out in the way that we've gotten used to seeing romances lately.
No, absolutely, and I think the reason why the movie is called Hamari Adhuri Kahani, we get to know at the end of it, and it should be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm looking
like
forward
you
to
said,
who's
you know,
playing.
Imran and Rajkumar both have very different and very exciting roles, and
Right, absolutely.
You must have got a sense from the trailer
No,
that
I think Imran, it should be very interesting. It should be very. Rajkumar Rao, I think he's a fascinating actor.
yeah, he is.
I think he brings.
He has great energy,
Absolutely,
you know.
absolutely.
In all those intense scenes that we did together, even between the takes, he would not let that energy dip. So also I was working with 2 actors whose approaches are completely different. So it was interesting for me. Imran is the kind of actor who conserves his energy as much as he can in between takes. Also,
Sure.
I think we've done 2 films together before,
Right.
Hamari Adhuri Kahani. This was our 3rd. And because our scenes were so intense, I think we engaged in a lot of just regular fun banter, gossip in between, so that we could diffuse that tension a bit.
I think during the Ghanchakar interview, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
you
yeah.
And Imran, there was a lot of fun. In fact. Okay, Vidya, we've taken a few questions from your fans, so let's see, because too many of them. Let's see how many we can possibly take. This is Ravan from KSA. I think, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia most probably. How was your experience shooting Hamari Adhuri Kahani? How different was it from the roles you have played earlier?
I haven't done a love story in the longest since Parinita, so that itself set it apart. And Bhatt Saab, Mahesh Bhatt, who's written the script, he's got a very interesting way of telling stories. Even when you meet him personally,
Absolutely.
you know that. So when he writes, it's very layered, you know, because it's full of, it's suffused with his observations of people, of human behavior, of complexities and all of that. So I enjoyed the experience. I've always wanted to work with Bhatt Saab, and this was the closest I've come to working with him. And Mohit, being such a young director, he's a contemporary director, but it's amazing the sensitivity he has in dealing with human relationships.
In fact, I think Wo Lamhe was outstanding, what you did with Wo Lamhe.
I loved Wo Lamhe myself.
Absolutely. This is Cinema Hindi, I think Celeste from Italy. How do you feel being the first Hindi actress in recent times to play strong roles and win critics, awards and audience?
I feel absolutely...
I think winning critical acclaim, she means.
Yeah.
She doesn't mean you won critics.
No, but I got that. I feel absolutely humbled and blessed. You know, it's the perfect situation for an actor to have all of it, to have the love of audiences and critical appreciation, and therefore box office success and the awards. So how can this get any better?
In fact, I spoke to Mr. Bachchan, I think 2-3 days back, and he said, I think a very interesting thing, that box office ensures the next film that we are going to get. The critical acclaim doesn't do that.
That's right, absolutely right.
He's being very practical, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Bobby from Dubai. Any role of her contemporaries that impacted her so much that she wished she'd have done it?
No, actually there are quite a few roles done by other actresses in recent times that I've completely enjoyed, but they've done it so well that I couldn't have imagined myself in it. Like Kalki in Margarita with a Straw, or Kangana in Tanu Weds Manu as a Haryanvi, Anushka in NH10. So lots of them there.
This is Alina from Germany. What is your favorite song from Hamari Adhuri Kahani?
My favorite song from Hamari Adhuri Kahani is actually the title track Hamari Adhuri Kahani, because I think it has every emotion we associate with love. It has pain, anguish, loss, yearning, longing, passion, all of it in one song.
Absolutely.
You know, I can hear that song, I can keep listening to it. I have been, as a matter of fact, from the first time I heard it.
Sure.
I used to play it on my way to shoot every day.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
that would
song.
help me just get into the zone. And you know, my 3.5-year-old niece and nephew, they love the song. And I would have thought that this song will appeal to people who've been through love or heartbreak, or
Sure.
you know, that it's a more mature song, but it's amazing.
The music is doing exceptionally well.
Yeah,
Music
and,
is
and you know, if it does well with kids,
Hasi.
that's saying a lot. That's Mohit Suri for you.
No, absolutely. I think he takes a difficult route, because generally item songs and all these things, fast numbers is something that catches up immediately. He takes the melodious route.
Yeah, melodious route, and which
easy
is
one.
why I think, you know, his music is more timeless.
Absolutely. This is a lady from Egypt, Cairo. She's not given the name, this is what she has mentioned. What's the moment in your life that happened that you wish to happen again, with every detail?
Oh my God. No, I don't think there's any moment that I want repeated in that sense. Maybe at the moment I just want Hamari Adhuri Kahani to do really well. So that repetition of a hit.
Like a kahani and a
Yeah.
dirty picture. Okay, fantastic.
And even better, maybe.
Absolutely. Subharti, she's not given from where she is, but what are her next projects?
I actually haven't signed a film yet. I'm exploring scripts. I've taken a little time because I might be considering doing something on television. I can't talk about it yet, but
Sure.
for the first time there's something that's excited me on television. So I've had to put a hold on my film decisions, only because television will require time, concentrated amount of time.
So is it like a chat show or what
Yeah,
exactly?
yeah, something of the sort.
Like a chat show?
Yeah.
Okay, and channel and details?
No details at the moment. But
Anahit from Armenia, Yerevan. Who you like the most from new generation of actors, and who do you think has the biggest potential?
I think everyone's doing so well, you know. What do they mean by new generation? Alia, Shraddha, Pariniti, all of them are fabulous. Each one has their own strengths and their own unique style. So I think there's going to be interesting work happening for each one of them. Different but interesting.
June 10th, I think you complete 10 years in the industry. How does it feel?
It feels like Parinita happened yesterday.
Right.
You know, Parinita released on the 10th of June 2005, and suddenly I'm like, yeah, I've done all this work, but it still feels like yesterday.
Right.
So yeah, this journey has been wonderful, and I hope it's going to go on.
Absolutely. In fact, you look the same actually.
Thank you.
This is Maha from Saudi Arabia. From all the movies you've done, which one is your favorite and why?
Oh God, that's such an unfair question, because I can't choose any one film. You know, Parinita will always be, I think, the most special because it was my first film. And yeah, there have been many special ones in between. But I will say that Hamari Adhuri Kahani has a very special place in my heart because it's been written by Bhatt Saab. And Arth has contributed a great deal to making me the actor I am. I used to keep watching Arth. I used to keep replaying the scenes on my own on a friend's terrace where I would actually go to study. So, you know,
there were two women and one man. Here there are two men and one woman.
Yeah.
So somewhere I think the parallels can be drawn.
This is today's Arth.
This is today's Earth. I think one can say that because Imran, the way.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not spoil it. Nishchal from Singapore. Any plans for film direction? Just have a gut feel that you will make an awesome director.
I love that you say that, and a lot of people do tell me, but I don't think...
You have a streak of perfectionism anyways.
But you know, I don't know if I have the ability to make a film. I can talk passionately about films and I feel passionately about films, but I think I have a more myopic view of things because as an actor, I've only had to think of my role, not the overall picture. Like when I worked with Farhan on you know, Shaadi Ke Side Effects, I realized how different we were in our approaches because he thinks of the larger picture, whereas I think of my role and the trajectory of my character. So I think to be a director, you need to have a larger perspective. I don't.
No, I think, you know, even during the interviews, the way you just analyze everything and the sort of perfection streak that you have, I think somewhere there is a director inside you.
Really? I don't know.
Seriously. Seriously.
I don't know. I keep saying that, you know, directors need to handle, but I like to be handled.
Okay. You're good with your one-liners. Some of your one-liners are very famous in our interviews itself. I wouldn't say them once again. When Dirty Picture 2 happens, then we will.
Yeah.
This is Seville from Germany. How hard is it to transition from being yourself to being your character? This is interesting. I think people would want to know that.
Yeah, I think it takes time for someone like me because, you know, I read the script. Once I have an impression of the character, then I sit with the director, sometimes with the writer. In this case, with the writer in Hamari Adhuri Kahani because Bhatt Saab, you know, has great experiences to share.
Sure.
So I normally like to do that and slowly making notes. I don't literally mean taking notes, but you know, I make mental notes and then if I have to acquire a skill for a particular film, I do that. So it takes time, but I like to do all of that before I get on set. And yet, it takes a couple of days for you to feel like the character because how much ever you prepare, when you're shooting, when you're on set, when you're in that space, something happens that's beyond you. You know, something unprepared, something unexpected. And one hopes for that actually because that is, when that happens, magic happens.
No, absolutely.
But,
absolutely.
So it takes time,
Okay, and would you like to mentor the students, the ones who will be getting your scholarship?
You know, if they are wanting to be actors, of course, and but otherwise I don't know how I could mentor them,
Because
really
in terms
be
of,
some sort of
like,
emotional
the way
support.
this question is that how hard is it to transition from being yourself to being your character? Because I think you've had some really fabulous films, the way you've done, like a Shadi Ke Side Effects and Bobby Jasoos. Maybe that they've not done well at the box office, but your performance was exceptional in that as well.
Thank you.
So people would want to, I think, in a way, learn as well. They should. I believe.
No, if there's anything that I can do for them, if there's anything they want to talk to me about or get my inputs on, I'm more than happy to do that. But I think it would be limited to what I do, that is being an actor or films. I don't know how much I'd be able to contribute otherwise.
Many people have this question, they keep on asking on social networking sites that Vidya Balan has amazing chemistry with Shah Rukh Khan during the award shows. The sort of the way they've danced together, the way they've had the entire bantering and everything. I think they'll make for like an excellent I think on-screen couple somewhere. So do you somewhere feel that it should happen?
I've had people tell me that we've done surveys,
Right.
and people have said this is a couple
Absolutely.
we want to see together, but I don't know why no one's written a script
Right, so
for us together. And I hope when it happens, it's a nice relationship story. I think because I love love stories, and I'd love to romance Shah Rukh.
That's a good headline. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'd love to romance Shah Rukh on screen.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a SRK in your life anyways.
Yeah.
This is Connell from Istanbul, Turkey. What is your favorite movie of all time? This is the last question.
Oh wow, my favorite movie of all time. There are a few. So there's Arth, there's Golmaal, the old Golmaal.
Right.
I can keep watching it. There's Before Sunrise, Before Sunset. I love those films. And Mr. India and Sridevi in Mr. India. My God, I can keep watching her.
Fantastic. Personally, I'm looking forward to who's playing Naila and Imran's mother and Apurva and all these characters. I think they're very interesting. So looking forward to that. In fact, we're supposed to do an interview with you, Imran, Rajkumar and Mohit day after tomorrow.
Right.
So let's reserve more details for that. You've apparently turned down Suchitra Sen biopic, and there were reports that Benazir Bhutto's biopic was offered to you as well.
It was never offered to me.
It was never offered to you.
Yes, Suchitra Sen biopic was offered to me, and I would have loved to play her.
Right.
I just felt that considering it's a Bengali film and Raima is doing so much work in Bengali, no one can look closer to Suchitra Sen than Raima can. In Hindi, I still thought that one could have taken the liberty, but
Sure.
because I loved the script. But that's the one thing that I wasn't so sure of looking like her. I know someone told me that, but you didn't look like Silk. You still played Silk. But I just feel that when it's a Hindi film, you can still take some liberties, but the Bengalis know everything there is to know about Suchitra Sen. Her granddaughter is right there, and she looks so much like her, and she's a
Right.
wonderful actress. So I just thought, of course it's up to her and the director and everyone, but that's the reason I opted out.
Benazir Bhutto could have been interesting. You don't think so?
Yeah, but no one ever offered me a biopic on Benazir Bhutto.
Right.
I would have been very excited because, yes, very
dynamic
interesting.
character, very dynamic character,
Yeah,
understood.
absolutely.
I think Mr. Siddharth Roy Kapoor has seen Hamari Adhuri Kahani.
Yes.
You guys went for a screening. What was his reaction like?
You should ask him.
Okay. No, I'm going to UTV right now. If I bump into him, so I will.
No,
We're supposed to interview Varun and Shraddha.
I
soon.
think he liked it immensely. Yeah, he did.
Liked it. So, is there a sense of like a competition, considering that your film is coming on 12th and his movie is coming on 19th?
No,
back to back.
no,
so-
I think, there's enough place in the sun for all of us to bask in. So we want both our films to work equally. Someone was telling me that, my God, aren't you going to be, your second week is going to clash with ABCD.
Right.
So I said, it doesn't matter, maybe mine will go on for 20 weeks and so will his. Let's hope so.
Okay, and would you like to write a book at some point of time? Because I think that the sort of vocabulary that you have and the expression that you have.
Right,
Would you like to write a
that's the other thing that I've been approached with.
Acha.
And I have had a few offers to write. Maybe this might be the time if I do take up the television offer, maybe this is the time I'll also get down to doing it. But writing requires a lot of discipline. And I'm not sure I'll get through with it. Maybe I'll give it a shot.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But do you contribute in terms of, like say, on-the-spot dialogues in your movies? Have you?
Yeah,
Have
but
any
you
con-
know,
which are the movies?
no, I think I have contributed in terms of personalizing them as a character.
Right.
But invariably, I stick to the lines.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I've heard of instances of Govinda completely improvising, and you know, I've firstly had no such opportunities, and I don't think
Arshad, I think, does. Arshad Warsi does.
Arshad is crazy. You know, I remember one scene in Ishqiya where I'm pointing a gun at Arshad and Nasir Saab, and I'm abusing them, and I walk away. As I walk away, he says something that's so funny. You know, and only he could have come up with.
What is it?
So he's, you know, something to say that for the first time he's seen me with a gun, and I forget what the line is, but it's a very. It was just. It wasn't in the script. He's got that talent.
Okay. Thank you very much, Vidya Balan, and congratulations once again for this entire honor, and looking forward with Hamari Adhuri Kahani and your future ventures. What is it that you're doing next in terms of, apart from television, any film scripts that you've finalized?
No, so I have, you know, finalized two. Again, I can't talk about them only because, you know, if I'm doing television, then I won't be able to start those films for the next 4 months.
Like that.
So I'm, after the release, I'll take a call and then things will move forward.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you very much, and all the best wishes.
Thank you so much.
You're looking as lovely as ever.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure talking to you as always.
Same here. Thank you.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching. Hi, this is Faridoon Shahryar. For the most interesting celebrity interviews, do subscribe to Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.